Okay, sorry about that. My camera kind of went dead. But the next thing I was going to talk about was brain surgery. That is another option for epileptics whenever they're going through seizures. It has been talked about with me before. My seizures come from the left temporal lobe, which is right down kind of like over here. And they basically said that if my VNS does not work, then they might try brain surgery. Now, the only problem that I see with that, the part that scares me, is the fact that they'll be taking out an actual part of your brain, and my part has to do with things like speech, motor skills, and there's a lot of occupational therapy and a lot of recovery involved. And I'm a girl, and they got to shave part of your head. I don't really care for that part either, you know. If I was a guy, I'd probably be different. I wouldn't really care so much about my hair, but I do. So, that part is definitely very, very scary. One thing, though, that has helped me out with going through all of this, especially recently, is I've joined a whole bunch of groups on Facebook and, you know, chatting with people. My aunt also got me in touch with another girl that she's got epilepsy as well. Well, hers is called something different. I think it's called heterotopia, is what she told me. But she's got seizures, and hers are extremely identical to mine. And talking with somebody that is going through it and having the exact same feelings that you're feeling, it just helps out so much. I didn't really realize exactly how much it helped until we got a chance to talk on the phone and chat on the computer, and it's just a big relief. I mean, I don't wish this upon anybody at all, but whenever you are going through something like this, it makes you feel so much better that you have somebody else going through it with you, and you can just talk about the feelings that you're having, the depression. There's just so many things. And I love you, Tiffany. I love you lots. It's been wonderful to talk to her. And another thing also is pregnancy. Now, they always talk about how pregnancy with epilepsy is high risk. It's very scary. It makes me sad sometimes, but I also have hope. But they say that your baby can be born with cleft palate, cleft lip, shortness of limbs. There's a couple other things too. My doctors told me about it. I've done research with it. But, I mean, nobody wants to hear anything like that. But, I mean, with anybody that's normal and is completely healthy, does not have epilepsy, there's also risks with that as well. I mean, you never know what life is going to bring you and what's going to happen. So, fingers crossed, you know, if I ever get pregnant one day. But unfortunately, with my study, I am not allowed to. I cannot get pregnant. And if I do decide that I want to make that next step, I have to be removed from the study completely, my doctor has said. So, it definitely has to be a planned thing. You can't just be like, surprise, I'm pregnant. So, but, like I said, it takes a lot out of you every day. I usually have a lot of petit mal seizures, and that's kind of where I'm told that my eyes go to the side, or I start fidgeting with my hands and kind of going like this a little bit, do like a lot of weird things. I don't remember any of it, don't know how long they last. I always have to be told what I did, what I said whenever I have my seizures, because like many of you know that have epilepsy, you don't remember a thing. And sometimes afterwards you have a headache, you're tired. There's one weird thing with me that I've noticed. It's very, very strange. I've noticed that after I have one of my petit mal seizures, I have this like instant craving to have a cigarette. Very weird to me, but yeah. I have not had a grand mal seizure in probably 5 years, I would say. And I've got to knock on wood for that. Thank you. But I am always curious, you know, when the next one is going to happen and where it's going to be and things like that. I mean, obviously, when I've had them in the past, you don't want anybody to, of course, witness that. It's very embarrassing. You feel silly whenever somebody sees it. And, I mean, I know there's no way you can, you know, just stop having it or anything like that, but you just don't want anybody to see it. You don't want anybody to witness that because, like I said, it's embarrassing. Also, with the petit mal seizures, sometimes I say some really, really weird things whenever I'm going through one, or do some awkward things. I had one recently at work where I apparently was, once again, you know, saying strange things, and, you know, I was told about it after the fact, after it happened, and I asked what I did, what I said, and, yeah, wasn't liking it too much. But, you know, you go through these things every single day, and like I said, it makes you tired, makes you very, very tired, and so you just want to sleep a whole bunch. Now that and depression together, probably not a good combination, but, you know, with your doctor, you just talk about everything. I mean, if you are feeling like this, you tell your doctor. I have an appointment coming up in March. I'm very, very close with my doctor. I see him all the time. All the time. That's another thing that gets to be a pain in the butt. When you have this, like when my study first started with my drugs, I was going every 2 weeks to the doctor. And then it changed to, like, you know, every month. And then it was every 2 months and every 3 months. But now, since I have the VNS, I'm back to seeing him a lot more frequently. Just like, I had the surgery in December. I just had an appointment with him in January. I've got an appointment March 1st. Yeah. And so, that also gets to be a tiring process. And, if any of you want to know, personally, just with my VNS procedure, the surgery cost $54,000. And thank goodness my husband's insurance covered part of it. I think we only had to wind up paying close to between four and $6,000. But I tell you what, once you get it done, the bills start rolling in like crazy. I hadn't even gotten it done yet. My first bill was at my door. Pretty pissed about it. But anyways, you know, you figure you'll try anything. Once you get into having this for so many years, you're willing to basically try anything to make it all stop, to make it all go away. There is no cure for it, which is unfortunate. But like I said, I mean, in the past I have written to Oprah to ask her to discuss it on her show because so many people are uneducated about it and they don't really know either what to do, what it's about, things like that. And I unfortunately never got a response back, but I really do wish that more people were aware of what to do, what it's about, how it can be life-threatening, the things that people have to go through day to day, because it's a very rough process. Even with your auras, you know, you miss out on part of your life. I can have lots of auras in a day, and even with auras, it's still considered a seizure. So the problem with that is that every time you have one of those, it takes away part of your brain cells get damaged. And that just scares me a lot. I have a horrible, horrible memory loss, which is actually quite common. So any of you out there that are having trouble with your memory, it is a common thing for epileptics to not remember things, whether it be short-term, long-term. It's just something that happens, unfortunately. But